Wow, and it's even UL listed without the overcurrent protection inside of it. And as you can see, the power comes in through the cord straight to the transformer, from the transformer to the rectifier diodes, and no overcurrent protection of any kind. And if any of those diodes go bad in a shorting condition, or that power capacitor goes bad, it can burn the power transformer and short the windings, and it can overheat, and it can get the line cord warm and possibly short out and start a fire in the house. Okay, so we're going to cut a wire here, and we're going to put a line fuse in. So we'll cut this one right here. Now, we had already checked the plug on this unit. It's not polarized, so it doesn't matter which side of the cord I put it on. So careful not to burn anything. I just to tin my iron just a hair. Get the whole thing up there. There we go. And they left a glob of solder here from the factory. This is a solder pump. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go from here over to our fuse block, and this is going to go to our fuse block. And I'll straighten this little terminal on the transformer up a little bit. And we'll use our 18 gauge wire here. This piece might, yeah, this piece will be long enough from before, so we'll use this one. Okay, so we're going to use some rosin flux here, some stranded wire, and this is the fuse block we're going to be putting in. So first we'll strip a piece of this here. Dip it in the flux. I'll put some solder on my iron here. I'll tin this piece of wire here. Okay, so I'll take and put my my wire into the fuse block like that. Take my real wide pliers, squeeze it so it gets shaped into where I want it. I'll take and put some flux on the terminal. Put some solder on my iron, and I'll do what's called a drop solder. I heat both the wire and the terminal, get a nice flow. My insulation came up just a hair, so I can just push that up a little bit. See, I got the insulation up nice and close. Okay, now I'll do the cord side. Put some flux on it. Put some solder on my iron here. Tin the wire. Okay, now I'm going to clean my tip here because I'm going to want that nice and clean to solder with. So I'll take my soldering wire, get some flux here on the terminal on both sides. I'll put the wire in. See how I got the wire in the hole like that neatly. Flatten it with the pliers. And again, I'll get some flux, put some flux here. Put some more solder on my iron. And I'll do another drop solder. See how nice and clean that is? So this is going to go like right here, and this wire is going to go right there. So I'll take and I'll strip this wire again. Now this time I'm not going to twist the strands together because I want it to wrap around there nice and flat. So I'll just keep them together though. Bring them over. Okay, I don't want the insulation up that close. I want just enough to go over. See, I want to get all those strands in that little notch where it goes around the transformer there. And getting all the strands together. I'm going to use my other pliers here. I'm going to get them all in there nice and flat. I'll look on the other side, make sure all the strands are up and over. Okay, this one's sticking up a little bit, so I'm going to push this one down. Okay, I'll stand it up and look inside there, make sure all the strands are where I want them. Okay, this one went down a little bit, though it's off center, so I'm going to just push them back. Alrighty, so I got them. Flip it over. Okay, everything's all where I want it. So now I can go ahead and take my soldering wire. I'll put it in the flux, get some flux on the back side and on the front there. I'll clean my tip again. I'll put some solder on my iron here, just a little bit. Now I'm going to heat this one from the back because I'm going to go right behind that terminal there and get some solder on this side. There we go. I'll let that cool a little bit. Okay, so now we are going to drill our hole. And we're going to figure out where we want to put this block. We could probably put it right there, and it would look really nice there. So I'll hold my wires back out of the way. Okay, and we'll take and put a screw through the block. Put it on the bottom. We put our nut and washer on from the back side here. Oops, I forgot that. I gotta cut this little knob off. There's where they fill it in the mold. So I gotta clip that off. And I put a little plastic in there keeping it up. There we go. Put that in here. Put our nut back on. Evened. And we'll just snug it up. Okay, now we'll take our zip tie and we'll get our wire dress taken care of. So we'll go around all four of these here. We'll get them tied together. We'll clip that end off there. And there's what it looks like done. Peace. Thanks for watching. Okay, I'll tell you why I put the fuses in this unit. See how big the filament there is in your typical house fuse there? And here is the filament in the fuse we're putting inside the tape deck. I'll zoom in on that some. See how tiny it is? If something were to go wrong with the circuitry in the tape deck, it will melt that filament much quicker than it would melt this. And while it's taking time to melt this, it can be causing damage to your stereo component and possibly start a fire in your house. But before you do anything like this, before you make any modifications on your audio equipment or any other electronic equipment, consult an authorized service center, because if it's done wrong, you can create a shock hazard or a fire hazard. So here we go. We're going to put the fuse in the unit here. This is a 1/2 amp fast blow fuse. I want to get it centered so it looks good. 1, 2, and now it has overcurrent protection that the factory did not provide. Thanks for watching.